That's gonna hurt.
Oh, yeah, man. Hey, can you give me a bottle of anything and a glazed donut to go? I'm just a gigolo. Everywhere I go, people about I'm playing. Every dance, silly each romance. Ooh. Hey, seriously, come on, hey. Welcome to Dave TV. This week's episode of Music Stop.
It's the Music Stop Funhouse.
We're going to talk about David Lee Roth, and I'm sorry. I just wanted to act like a jackass because he does in all his videos. You know, I'm sorry. But anyways, welcome to the Music Snob.
The Music Snob.
Where I know music, unless it sucks. We're here at this channel. If you have never been here before, welcome. I like to talk about artists that maybe either people maybe forgot about, or maybe they didn't talk about them enough, or maybe they thought about them maybe like when I talked about Foreigner, I thought people just thought about the ballads, but they're a great rock band. Sometimes I talk about Blair's Record where I just focus on an album that I think is incredible. Or I do a couple of easy licks.
Licks.
Guitar, bass, whatever. Just to show you some easy guitar stuff, so you can be a music snob like me. Today, we're going to talk about David Lee Roth. Now, I don't have a Van Halen shirt, for God's sakes. I don't have, but I got this shirt, which I think I wore already in the stupid thing. But David Lee Roth, okay, now, the scream of David Lee Roth. I can't do the splits. I'm sorry. This is the best I got going on. Yeah, let's get it. Okay, yeah, you know that is Jump. If you don't know that that's Jump, what is wrong with you? You know that song, and then you got to know that. You know, let's get into that. You know, the best part is after the solo. This part is the best part. Not only is it a great guitar part, but when Dave starts doing the little... Okay, God knows. You know that's Panama. You knew the other one was Jump. You know Van Halen. You know David Lee Roth and Van Halen. But are you aware? Now, if you're as old as I am, yeah, you're aware. He had a great, well, it wasn't a big, long solo career, but it was a pretty good one. He had some great tunes. And I want to talk about some of that today. Maybe we'll talk about his videos. Maybe we'll talk about whatever. It's David Lee Roth. And so if you got a second, do me a favor and like or subscribe. I could do some friends. Watch the video to the end. Please. Why are you here for 38 seconds? Watch the whole thing. Come on. You never know where the good part might be. Can't guarantee there is one. Anyways, David Lee Roth. The reason I'm doing my music snob thing about David Lee Roth this week, I did one about Sammy Hagar a long time ago because honestly, I like Sammy better. I'm sorry, I am. But a couple weeks ago, I did a video comparing the Van Halen between Sammy and Dave, not Gary, but Sammy and Dave. And unbeknownst to me, Dave came out on top. If you haven't seen it. So if you want to watch it, there's the link right up here. But I decided, why just do Dave? Or why do Sammy? Do it Dave. So today, we're going to talk about Dave. Whereas Sammy had stuff going on before he joined Van Halen. And they had their success, and then he left. He kind of came back at one point. But he had a lot of success as a solo artist. And Dave was unknown before Van Halen. But I don't see any reason for us to talk about his Van Halen stuff up in the 70s, 80s. Because everybody knows. They sold 53 million albums with Dave. So let's talk about Dave afterwards and go get your camel, get your elephant, your old beat up truck. Get yourself a limo with a hot tub in the back and some babes, and come on a musical journey with me. We're talking about David Lee Roth. David Lee Roth, born 1954 in Bloomington, Indiana. As a kid, Dave was interested in the arts. Funny how that turned out. Especially film and radio. And his first idol was Al Jolson. Now, I just want to say, if you don't know who Al Jolson is, look him up and be thankful that Dave did not follow his tendency to wear blackface. Bad. Now, when he was a teenager, his family relocated to Pasadena, California, where he received treatment from a psychiatrist for his hyperactivity. It's hard to believe that's a thing. He used to call it, well, I don't know if he called it, but maybe his parents called it monkey time. We could all use a little monkey time, I think. There's nothing wrong with that. While attending college, he met Alex and Edward Van Halen. Okay, so let's talk about the Van Halen years. Again, I'm not going to talk about the music. I'm just going to talk about a little what was going on. 1974, David Lee Roth joined Mammoth, and he says it was his idea to change the name to Van Halen. I wasn't there. I don't know. It's hearsay. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the Van Halen stuff, check out my little the video again. I already put the link up about Van Halen with Dave. They were huge. They were so big. And we'll talk about some of when he got back with them later. After selling 50 million albums, 53-ish maybe, not sure. They had different musical styles. Okay, so Eddie was a guitar god. Alex was a drum god. Michael Anthony was he's a bass god to me, but he was just there for the fun. He's a party boy. But Dave had his style. Eddie had his style, and they kind of grew apart musically. Diver Down had five covers on it, and Eddie was not thrilled about that. So he built a 5150 studio, and because he was doing most of the recording without Dave there to either steer the ship the direction he wanted to, Dave kind of maybe I'll start doing my own fucking shit and don't tell anybody. So over the years they clashed and whatever. Dave wanted more party music, like Aerosmith was doing or something like that. Eddie wanted to do more keyboard stuff. I don't know why Dave didn't like the keyboard stuff, but he wanted to do more keyboard stuff. He wanted to do stuff in minor keys that weren't, just for the feel. And thus, 1985. After 1984, the album and the year came to a close. Dave had, I think, secretly recorded "Crazy from the Heat." He had plans to do a whole movie, but he released the EP 1985, "Crazy from the Heat." It's just an EP, 4 songs, and it showcased Dave's ideas of where his music style was kind of headed. The movie didn't happen. The studio folded before it could happen. But this album, it's 4 songs. I had one, 1 million copies. Just for this little EP. So what we're gonna do? I'm gonna play Easy Street off of Crazy with the Heat. The reason I'm gonna play Easy Street, I kind of thought everything was just an old kind of a covers of older stuff, but this was actually written by a guy named Dan Hartman. Look up Dan Hartman. He had a big hit with "I Can Dream About You." Dream About You. But Easy Street. I'll put on my captain's hat again. Now, if you were a fan of Van Halen, you liked the weird stuff that Dave was bringing out of his butt. Like, when he did Sweet William, Big Bad Bill is Sweet William now. It would kind of hinted towards this kind of thing. Oh, I'm sure he was on Easy Street. Right? Now, if that's not good enough for you. All right, well, if you were like me, when this song came out, and Dave did this. I don't think I even knew where the Beach Boys were yet. But this is a cover of the Beach Boys, California Girls. And, you know, I was a teenager. And when this video came out, it's not going to be synced. I'm going to play a little bit of the video just over this, just right here, right here. I'm going to pretend to react to it. I think that was my favorite part of the video. Now, if you haven't seen that before, when I was a teenager, man. Now, I'm not saying it's okay to be that kind of person now. I'm not saying that. But God, I love that video. Okay, now I got to play this one because I got to redeem myself for whatever the hell I was doing earlier, and I'm sorry. Can you hear my chair booming? Now, this was completely unheard of at the time because he was doing a medley of two old 50s standards. He combined into one song and just made this great dancing party song. And that video, we're not going to talk about, well, we're not going to look at the video. But the guy was a genius. The guy was a total genius. Now let's talk about this album. Like I said, four songs. Dan Hartman wrote Easy Street. Some of the California Girls was actually a Beach Boys song. And Carl Wilson sang backup. And Christopher Cross. It's got to be that high-pitched thing. I love Christopher Cross. Not only that, Sid McGuinness played guitars on some of the album. Sid McGuinness was on Letterman for 30 years playing guitar for him. Edgar Winter of the Edgar Winter group. He played on that thing. Special guests up the wazoo. And that album was a sign of things to come. Now, when that album came out, he had not officially left Van Halen, but I guess they had, some words. And then he left and he went out and he started recording his first full album. So 1986, Eat 'Em and Smile. The guy's an entertainer. He had great videos, cool songs. He was fun on stage. I don't know. You could say was he really a singer? When you do the isolated vocals on some of his stuff, he sounds really good. But Eat 'Em and Smile, 1986. This one sold 2 million. It's in the U.S. This is where you got Steve Vai, Guitar God. Well, was he Guitar God yet? Future Guitar God, Steve Vai. And I'll tell you, this is how much. Hold on, just a second. Hold on a second. This is gonna screw everything up. I'm over here now.
A few moments later.
This is how much we love Steve Vai. Huh? We got one of these. Look at this thing, huh? I'm sorry. This is the Steve Vai, the Gem Junior. That's how Steve Vai is a guitar god. And look at this thing. This will be up on the wall soon. We're gonna call it Ghost. It's beautiful. And it's got this stuff. Nice, huh? So, anyways, do I have to readjust everything? Steve Vai, guitar god. Also, Billy Sheehan on bass, who went on to he played with Mr. Big and a million other things. Greg Bissonette on drums, so it was like a dream team of players. Apparently, the songs that he had written for Eat 'Em and Smile were going to be the soundtrack for the Crazy from the Heat movie that never happened. Also recorded a Spanish version of the album called Sonrisas Salvaje. Is that? I'm sorry. I apologize to anyone who speaks Spanish. I'm sorry, but that did not do well. But when this song came out, It's like, oh, we're competing with Van Halen now, aren't we? Could have been the new Eddie, you know? Just making those. Eddie had his horsey, his elephant. This guy's making the thing talk like the parents on the Peanuts. Yankee Rose, baby. Just move it up. Move it up. Now I don't know. I used to think he didn't really sing, but he's definitely a singer. It's high pitched, whatever you want to call it, falsetto maybe. But great songwriter, great freaking rock tunes, and he knew enough. Not only did he want to do his weird, I don't know what you want to call that stuff. He was doing like a Frank Sinatra impression, I guess, in one of the ways. Like he wanted to do show tunes, but he also could still pull metal out of his ass, and it was great. Yeah, we're gonna put let's say the early half of Van Halen. I loved Dave's weird stuff. I loved everything about Van Halen, but I don't want to say anything negative about Dave. I'm not. Well, I guess I'm not really. But I liked Sammy stuff better in terms of Van Halen. But what I liked about David Lee Roth was his fun party. You know, I'm here, man. I'm here, so we should be having fun. Now he's just going crazy. And again, Steve Vai, man. I know it's not like he's underrated. Everybody knows. Oh, cowbell. Sorry. It's not within reaching distance. Let's go right to this. Monkey time. Going crazy from the heat. It's a reference. Oh man, what a great song! And you know what? I'm gonna go with this. You have to. Do I have a choice? I don't know if I have a choice. I think I don't. This was, I believe, what was the last song? That's Life. Which again, Frank Sinatra did this. I know he did. And it wasn't the same. And I'm sure Michael Bublé has done it by now. He should have just put on a suit. The hell with rock and roll. I am gonna be doing show tunes. But not Dave. Okay, yeah, that's all you need. What a great album. So after, there's kind of a back and forth with Van Halen because they had 5150. Then he had Crazy from the Heat. Then they had 5150. Then he had Eat 'Em Smile. And then Van Halen had Oh You Ate One Too. And then Skyscraper comes out. And this song, man, he's climbing the side of a mountain, just in the album cover and in the video too. But what an epic rock song. Like it builds from this little thing, and thank you, Steve. It's too bad that he and Steve didn't stay together and become like a thing like other great singers and great guitar players, but they had their time. Oh my god. Okay, let's get into this. Come on. Are you a David Lee Roth fan? You know this stuff, right? If you don't, you should be by now. Now, isn't it obvious? Okay, now, again, I said at many times I've mentioned that I was more of a Sammy guy. And how is it that I know the backup parts to all these songs? Because they're that good. That's why. Okay, I gotta play this just because he had some great, let's say, double entendre songs as well. And this one, do you know the song? This could have been on any Van Halen album, 70s. Hot dog and a shake, baby. Must be monkey time again. I'm assuming that means something other than going for a hot dog and a shake. I could be wrong, but it could mean something. I think maybe it's about just snacking. I could use a hot dog and shake. Here we got Stand Up. God, this is another great song. Well, I don't know. What do I need to talk about? It starts with a great keyboard. Now, I don't know who's playing keyboards on this. I don't even know. I only really mention when it's somewhat of note, we'll say. But he has some cool keyboard stuff going on. Then the guitars kick in. And this reminds me of some Vanhalen stuff too. Build it, baby. It's a great marriage of guitar, keyboard, everything, and his vocals stand out so much. And again, I'm doing that. I know it. Are you doing that? Are you doing it? Oh my God. He should have been even bigger just because of that. 1991. A Little Ain't Enough. Now, I don't know. I don't know exactly why, but Steve Vai and Billy Sheehan both left before this album. And went on to bigger and better things. You know, like, I don't know if there was a problem. But, you know, like Ozzy has a bunch of guitar players that play with him. Alice Cooper's had a bunch of different guitar players for him. So maybe it's the same thing with Dave. I don't know. But Little Ain't Enough. I'm going to play Little Ain't Enough. Now, this should have been huger because Bob Rock produced this. Bob Rock is a god. I have never, like, how many albums have I talked about just Bob Rock? Let's do a thing about Bob Rock. Just that guy. Now, let's talk about this. A Little Ain't Enough. Only sold 500,000 copies in the US. So he had a couple, like 1 million, 2 million, 2 million. This is when grunge started to take over the radio. Because there's nothing wrong with the song. I bet Michael Anthony could sing this. If you wanted to. I thought I was going to go into that. Hey, hey, mama, yeah. You know that song, hey, mama, do it, die, whatever. I don't know what that song is. Life in a Northern Town. Ripped off this thing, I bet. Okay, I'm going to play one more off this album. The Sensible Shoes, and you can see the reason I'm playing is because it's cool. Who's playing the harmonica, Dave? Is it? I don't know. Maybe it's Dave. This guy could take any style he wanted and make it his own. Well, here we go. Residuals are off. Oh my God. Tell me this isn't worth buying. Like, come on. Bring it up from 500,000. Bring it up to 1 million. Come on, everybody. Let's all chip in. Let's all get a copy. 1994. Your filthy little mouth. I don't know who he's talking to. I don't know. This was a different. This is a different album. He had a duet on here with Travis Tritt, who I'm not going to get into. Not a fan. Let's play Your Filthy Little Mouth. But not only did he have the thing of Travis Tritt, he's again experimenting. This does not sound like this again is a country song, I think. It's on the verge of country. He still had the voice. You know, this is 2000. What year was this? 1994. He still got the voice. I may be offended. Oh my God. I like the song. Okay, I'm going to play one more off this album. And the reason is because not only did he have that duet with Travis Tritt, this right here is Nightlife. This was a Willie Nelson tune that he wrote many years ago. And he recorded it, but it was co-written with a couple other writers. But the fact that David Lee Roth is doing a Willie Nelson tune. Oh, it would have been so cool if he had Willie on there with frickin' Trigger. Just playing a little guitar solo at least, or some shadow harmonies. Okay, yeah, that's all we got to talk about. Well, sometime after that that album, he rejoined Van Halen for to do 2 songs from the best of Volume 1, and I'm going to play a little bit of these just because I don't know if these were as focused on by Van Halen fans, or people maybe weren't Van Halen fans. You know Jump, you know Panama, you know all that stuff. This, Me Wise Magic, is a masterpiece. Am I overstating it? I don't care. This, to me, this is classic Van Halen with Dave. Oh, God. It's just so... Nobody does that. I hope this should be as regarded as any regular Van Halen with Dave, with Sammy, with Dave. Once you reach a certain age, you forget everybody's name. This is so. This was worth Sammy quitting, or getting kicked out. One of the two. You know what? I'm gonna play the other one. Just can't get this stuff no mo. Just because it, to me, that was the when Dave left the first time. Van Halen changed. The music changed. The writing changed. And if you're a fan of the original kind of stuff, this is so reminiscent of, and so, it's just so like the original stuff and so incredible. I say so a lot, but I don't so. Let's just get into the Dave stuff here. Come on. You probably did. Let's get into it. Here. Now, to me, that was incredible, and if that had been the reunion that people had hoped for, that would have been great. And the sound, everything about that sounded great. So there was hope, but it didn't happen. So in 1990, he released. It was called the DLR Band. It's David Lee Roth. You know it's David Lee Roth. But it was just called the DLR Band. Had a couple weirdness, different sound to it. I'm going to play you Slam Dunk, and I'm going to play Slam Dunk for one reason only. It's co-written by John Five. Before anybody knew who John Five was, it's even credited with his real name, which I already forgot. This album should have been a slam dunk, you know what I mean? But it was not. It's cool that he was able to, let's say, attract really incredible guitar players to work with him. Come on, this should have been a bigger hit, but I don't even think it went gold. 2003, David Lee Roth went back to being David Lee Roth. Released Diamond Dave, another of his weird covers. I don't know, is it weird? It's colorful, much like Eat 'em and Smile, I guess. This one had some big guests. He had Greg Fillinganes playing piano. Now, if you don't know that name, you should. He's played with Clapton, Stevie Wonder, Toto. Nile Rodgers played guitar on this. Again, Nile Rodgers, you should know him. He produced so many great songs. He's produced Daft Punk's Up All Night to Get Lucky, all that stuff. That guy was incredible. Edgar Winter again came back and did another sax solo on a song. I'm going to play you. What were these? These were like kind of remake-y, cover-y things, but somehow with different names. But this, he redid Ice Cream Man from the early Van Halen, but it's more of a piano tune now. It's so cool as a ragtime piano song. Tell you what. It would have been great if you had that little organ music in the background for this. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to play one more off this album. It's called Bad Habits. Because it brought all the different kind of styles in together. That walking bass. Seems autobiographical. Oh yeah, I bet he did. You know what? I'm stopping it right there. 2007, Dave rejoined Van Halen. So Van Halen and name, whatever. To me, Eddie and Alex and Wolfgang. To me, I was like, kind of like, why didn't you bring Mike back? Is it really a reunion? Sort of, I guess. When he came back, and they had their highest grossing tour in their history. So you could be a Sammy lover, but you cannot deny the power of Van Halen with David Lee Roth. They had a huge tour. They did A Different Kind of Truth, which to me it's not the best. The Tokyo Dome, the second live album, Tokyo Dome, again, not great. But the guy has done a bazillion things. He's acted. He was on The Sopranos. He was an EMT in New York City. Like, say what you want, but the guy was out there saving lives, or at least, trying to. Yankee Rose has been featured on Grand Theft Auto. So like he's in the vernacular, I think. He's performed with the Boston Pops. He was the guy when Howard Stern left to do Sirius XM or Sirius Radio, whatever it was. They asked Dave if he wanted to be the guy to replace him, and he did it. He did it for a little while, but he still did it. He's been trained in various different kinds of martial arts, which explains his kicking abilities. Now, he also has a YouTube channel, David Lee Roth. I'm going to play you. This is the last thing I'm going to play you. And this came out just after Eddie unfortunately passed. And it's a great tribute, I think, to their life together when they were young. It's called Somewhere Over the Rainbow Bar and Grill. This came out a couple years ago. And it's on David Lee Roth's YouTube channel. Check it out. It's a great play on Somewhere Over the Rainbow, but then you realize the Rainbow Bar and Grill is a place that they play. Did you know that was coming? What a great idea for a song. You know what? I gotta talk about this. That brings me to the end here. David Lee Roth, a force to be reckoned with. With Van Halen, man, they sold 50, probably close to 60 just with him. Including Different Kind of Truth in the Tokyo Dome, whatever, and God knows how many other albums that they've sold over the years since then. His solo stuff, party stuff. He's a pioneer of music videos, like doing really cool music videos. Him and say Twisted Sister back then had the best videos. I got nothing but respect for Monkey Time. David Lee Roth, you, and if I still, my hat's up there. My hat's off to you, man. The guy retired, I guess. He had been doing some shows opening for Kiss and stuff, but in 2021 he retired. He's done. But on the YouTube channel, he still puts out the odd thing. He's dancing around or he's singing or whatever. He does the odd cover. There's a great cover of 8675309. There's a cover of Baker Street on there. Check him out. I'm pretty sure he makes money off the YouTube because he's got 95,000 subscribers. I think it'd be more. But, if you made it this far, I appreciate you tuning in to
It's the music snob.
and I would appreciate you if you liked it. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. And when a video comes up, come on, watch the damn thing. Watch the whole video. I appreciate that. And as always, if you like the video and you want someone else to be as bored as you are, don't forget to share. And if you got somebody you want me to talk about, because these things kind of come to me. Sometimes there's a comment where somebody's like, "Hey, you should listen to it," and I'll do that. But if you have something, leave a comment. But as always, I just, it's a caveat. Please don't be a dick. I see other channels. Nobody's really doing it on mine, but I see other channels where people whine and bitch and moan at each other for the stupidest reasons. So why can't we all just appreciate great music here at
The
Music
Snob.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.